Let's go live to Hamilton now, where former mayoral candidate Keanin Loomis is making an announcement.
All right, well, thank you for joining us here outside of the Westdale Theater here in Hamilton, one of Hamilton's great landmarks. In there, I just gave a speech on the past, present, and future of the Hamilton steel industry to the folks at the Hamilton Third Age Learning Group, incredible people. In it, I was asked if I would be running for mayor. I kind of got the tip off well in advance from many people who intended to come that this was going to be one of their top questions, and I decided that it is indeed time to acknowledge my intentions, and so I wanted to be able to share it to the rest of the public. So after much discussion with my family and with my supporters and with many, many, many Hamiltonians over the last number of years, I wanted to announce that I intend to run for election for mayor in this upcoming election in October of 2026. When I ran for mayor in 2022, I heard the same message everywhere. People in Hamilton desired real change and real leadership at Hamilton City Hall. And it has become abundantly clear that the need has only grown over this term of council. Over the last 3 years, we haven't seen the leadership, the discipline, or the urgency needed to move Hamilton forward. And because of it, our city is in worse shape now than when I last ran. We need a leader that sets a vision, unites people, and turns plans into progress. And we need to put people before politics. Instead of managing decline, we can reclaim our momentum, but only if we choose leadership that matches the city's great potential. I'm running for mayor of Hamilton because I love this city and it's where I'm raising my family. I believe in Hamilton and I can't be a bystander any longer to the mismanagement that we are seeing day in and day out. I'm running for mayor of Hamilton because Hamilton deserves better. Thank you. I will take some questions now.
So I'll start with Mayor of Hamilton doesn't look like a particularly envious job. When you take office, you're taking over a city that is basically fiscally bankrupt, a council that's deeply divided. You're inheriting messes that haven't been cleaned up yet. Why are you willing to take on this task instead of staying at your current job?
Well, the way you lay it out, Joey, maybe I should reconsider, but absolutely not. In fact, obviously, the need for real leadership at City Hall is more acute than ever. You're right. This is a mess that the next mayor will be inheriting. We really did last time around have a very positive campaign. We tried to stay out of the gutter that our opponents were in often during the campaign. But now this mayor has a record to run on, and it's not a good one. And day in and day out, our mayor is demonstrating that she just doesn't have the competency to be doing this job. It's costing Hamilton. It's costing us in wasted taxpayer dollars. It's costing us in our reputation. Hamilton's reputation is in shambles, and it's costing us in opportunity. And Hamilton, as I said, it needs great leadership now more than ever. And when we look at all the other possibilities, Hamiltonians expect serious, competent management at City Hall, and I believe that I'm the right candidate to do that.
You came real close last time. What are you going to do different this time to put you over the top?
Well, I think that, obviously I'll be a much better candidate this time around. It always is the case when you have the opportunity to learn. I wouldn't say that we would do anything differently than we did last time around. I think it was about overcoming name recognition, and we nearly did that. I think that all analysis shows that if we had one more week, we would have won the election. And so what I intend to do is still run a positive campaign. Again, our mayor has a record to run on now that is not one that I would want to run on, and there's a lot of buyer's remorse out there in Hamilton. So I think that if we keep doing the things that we've been doing, lay out a positive vision. Obviously, we need to update it for 2026, but basically I can recycle the same platform because nothing has happened over the last 4 years.
Budget came out yesterday, and the numbers for the next 2 years are looking like they're set up for huge increases.
Yeah.
If you win and come in, what can you do when you're already looking at such huge increases?
Well, no one person can solve this alone, and I'm not naive to the challenges. Again, obviously, we need leadership now, but more than ever. So, it's going to require bringing together leaders. It's going to require bringing together council in a way that, obviously didn't happen this time around. The whole process this time around was a complete embarrassment. And so it's about doing better. Obviously, coming into this office, in November of 2026, one of the first jobs, that the mayor has is to start to set a budget for 2027. So I'm going to bring everybody together, and including experts in this city as well. We've got some ideas. Certainly there's a lot of time for us to develop a platform, but certainly the budget is going to be first and foremost in my mind, because that's going to be priority number one when I get elected.
And strong mayor powers change what the person in that role can do. Does that change the campaign? Does that change anything about what you argue for your position?
No, I don't think strong mayor powers changes anything. As I said last time around, and I still believe that, a mayor that has a united council doesn't need to use strong mayor powers. And there are lots of good examples across the province. Obviously, mayors, are still trying to grapple with strong mayor powers and what it means, especially for the budgeting process. It's a very complex, a system that's been created by the province. And that's why, obviously, any mayor is going to need help and support going forward. But there will be far greater involvement with council in the setting of the budget, especially with the expectation that many of the current councillors will win re-election, so they will have gone through the process, and I'll be leaning on them for sure.
So you mentioned the question about strong mayor powers. Are you planning to make any changes to senior leadership when you're mayor?
Well, I think that one of the pillars of our last campaign, and it's still the case because again, the issues are even worse now than they were, is the trust in City Hall. Taxpayers have absolutely no trust at all in how our taxpayer dollars are being spent, and there's been absolutely no accountability in any of the fiascos that we've experienced over the last number of years. And of course, that is one of the things that the taxpayers expect, and that's one of the things that I will be implementing is accountability measures. And the thing is, again, we'll have plenty of time to talk about what the campaign platform is going to be. The broad outlines I think are there. But you can't tackle any of the challenges of the city if we don't have the best and brightest working for this city. And the fact is, it's a toxic environment. There's a lot of infighting within the mayor's office. There's a lot of infighting within council. There's a lot of infighting within within City Hall. So we need to focus on the culture of the city, have the right people in place before we're able to fight any of and take on any of the challenges that we're dealing with at this point in time. And only through that process and through listening to all of those people, the leaders in this community and regular taxpayers, are we going to be able to begin to restore the trust that Hamiltonians should have in our City Hall.
And we have been listening live to former mayoral candidate Keanin Loomis, and he just announced he intends to run for mayor in the upcoming October election. Now, he was a close second place in Hamilton's 2022 municipal election, less than 1% of votes behind the winner, Andrea Horwath.